Welcome everybody to Rob's MetalWorks. We are here on a fucking Saturday night as we break into the fall season. Yes, the end of 2018 is almost upon us, but yet we are still delivering the best that Texas metal has to offer. Brings me great pleasure to welcome the fellows from San Antonio and New Braunfels. Here tonight, the Doom Metal Masters, Burn Ritual, is here in the studio.
Thank you.
Oh, God.
Glad to be here.
Honor to be here, man. We really appreciate it,
Thank
Rob.
you, Rob. Ready to burn it up.
We've been pre-gaming for too long.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
Oh, God.
Having fun.
Yes, sir.
Having fun, man. Having fun.
You guys are fun dudes. Thanks for bringing your great energy into the studio. God, man, you know, I love bringing bands that I love in this place and to talk about their music. And, you know, even we haven't even talked about Burn Ritual tonight. We've just been talking about heavy metal in general.
Then that's what it's all about.
Music,
Yeah.
we love heavy metal. We love it like you wouldn't believe. I'll tell you
Past,
that right
present.
about Danzig, Judas Priest.
Skin Lab.
Oh, Skin Labs.
Life of Agony.
6 Feet Under.
Oh. Life of Agony.
now. Obituary, all that shit tonight.
Jamming that music loud, too. Yeah.
So many stories we shared too, man. Oh, God. Good memories, but, you know, there's so many people out there who watch our show and want to hear about all these bands that they want to discover. And my followers tell me, Rob, tell us who's fucking kicking ass. And I told you guys tonight, you know, you guys are telling me, Rob, you know, it's such an honor to be here. I'm like, I'm a fan of what you are doing musically. You know, Blood of the Raven is such a killer record, and we're gonna get into the knee deeps of that release right now, the nitty gritty of it. But so let's share with these people a little bit about Burn Ritual. Jake, I know you're at the heart of this band, so share a little bit about the early beginnings of the band and how you kind of mustered the roller coaster that is Burn Ritual.
Well, it started somewhere around last year. I think it was around, let's say June, maybe before that. But we were all in another band together called King Earth.
King Earth.
And I was just the guitar player in that band. I wasn't the singer, but I was writing a lot of the lyrics, and like I had been in some of the other bands I'd been in before. And really, I just had a couple songs that I didn't really see them that they fit with King Earth. They were kind of like their own thing. And I had been dabbling with recording for a while. I started out as a drummer, and then later on moved to guitar. And when you can play guitar, you can kind of play bass too. So, and then I learned how to do some simple stuff with recording at home and stuff like that. So when it came to the Burn Ritual thing, I was like, well, I'm just going to do this basically all by myself. I have these 2 songs. They were kind of skeletons, but my wife went out of town for a while, a couple days, and I was basically by myself and did it all by myself, really. And I didn't really think much was going to happen out of it, but after we put it out on the internet, or I put it out on the internet, it kind of Bandcamp and YouTube kind of took off.
666 Mr. Doom.
I showed these guys the material, and they really liked it too. I think, Richard, you were the first one to hear it, actually.
Yeah,
Out of everybody. Brought him over to my house.
Yeah, and Jake showed me, you know, I had just left the King Earth project due to personal conflicts or whatever, you know, and I went over to Jake's house. He actually lives on the other side of 410 from me, like not even 3-4 minutes away. He shows me this music, you know, and at the time was prepared to hang up the music thing. I was like, you know, I'm going to concentrate on just working and doing stuff. He shows me this Burn Ritual stuff, and I was just shocked and amazed. And I was like, that's really you playing all this music? He's like, yeah. I was like, I don't know, man. You know, whatever's going on in my life right now, I want to be a part of this. I really do, man. I mean, I'll do whatever it takes, you know, and I want to join in on this, you know, because King Earth was a great project that we had, you know, and for whatever reason, you know, it just at the end wasn't really going as well. But he shows me all this stuff, you know, and I've always encouraged Jake to play and sing, you know. Like I said, he was a drummer, you know, and every band that he and I have been in, you know, he and I grew up in Corpus Christi, you know, years ago, and we've been here for about 9.5, almost 10 years in San Antonio, you know. And he and I, most of the bands that I've been in have him involved, and we are creatures of habit to where we tried to do this years ago, and he's like, you know what, I'm just going to play the drums, you play guitar, and we'll do whatever, you know, whatever. So once we moved out here, we reconnected after a year, you know, and we did a project called Scissor Jack, you know, where I played bass along to Jake's guitar playing, and I always encouraged him, you know, to play guitar, but to sing as well. And he was like, well, you know, singing, blah, 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 you know, we went through our emotions and all that.
That's a big step.
Yes, you know, and after a while, Jake shows me this music that he's done, and I told him, you know what, man, no matter what, I want to be a part of this. So we ended up doing this, you know, and Jake did the EP by himself. Is like I said, it's 90% Jake. You know, Brent did play on the other track, but everything, bass, vocals, guitars, leads, everything is Jake, you know.
Yeah, I had actually thrown it out on Bandcamp, and I think it was that same night or the night before. There's a couple big YouTube channel guys that do nothing but doom and stoner rock music, and he had put it on his YouTube channel, the whole upload, which was cool. I didn't care, you know, whatever. And it actually brought a lot of sales and stuff, and from there
at the time we were just throwing feelers out.
Yeah.
And that was what became the Suffering EP.
Yeah, definitely. And that like Suffering track, the same thing is kind of what Richard says. Jake showed me the first track, Unleash the Dogs, which I was blown by. I mean, I don't know if you've ever heard it, but that track is driving, and it takes me to a point in my life which was my youth, when I first started discovering heavy music. And then he calls me and he says, hey dude, I'd like to have you on the second song. And you know, I think kind of for Jake, you know, we've been friends for a long time. I think it was kind of a nod to me, like, look, I want to give you a shot on this and see what you can do. And we kind of, I heard it the day that we recorded that. I heard it that day, kind of a basic what it was, and we recorded it that day in my living room. And that's what's on that CD right there.
We recorded the drums.
Yeah. Everything else was done.
Well, what happened really was that too, but also the fact that we had Tony Reed master it from Most Generator, and he had already talked to Tony Reed about mastering our King Earth project. So I was like, man, he was kind of laying the groundwork.
We played a festival by George Cruces, Las Cruces. We did the what was it called?
Denizens of the Dark.
Denizens of the Dark Festival.
He is a doom metal pioneer.
Pioneer in San Antonio, yeah, definitely, and a good friend of ours.
Yes, I go way back with George Trevino to the early days, late 90s of Rob's.
That's where we met Tony Reed, which led to us asking him, after we figured out what this was, can you mix this and master it for us? And Tony Reed was cool with it. And then we put it out on the interwebs, and it did what it did, you know?
Yeah, it kind of, like I said, I wasn't expecting much from it. I thought, well, you know, whatever, I'll just throw it out there. Because I had done some self-recordings before, but that was like the first one I think I'd really thrown out, like, you know, on YouTube and all that. So after like the success of it, or what I call success, I was like, well, I want to make a full band out of this.
Yeah,
definitely.
And I was already tight with these guys from King Earth, and
King Earth.
I knew what they could do.
Okay.
I knew what they were all about. I mean, I could have got some other guys from San Antonio, I'm sure.
Yeah, got pretty tight. You know,
Yeah, so I just called them up one by one, and I told them, hey, you know, well, let's do this, because this is what I want to do. It was nothing against King Earth. You know, I liked playing guitar in that band and everything, but I really wanted to just take off
Well, I
with
think
this.
Once we all heard the songs that he had coming
Yeah.
out, it was yeah.
That's how it all
It was
kinda
on.
began.
It's
I
like-
told you, you know, me
I-
and Jake, we got together at his house, you know, and I went to his backyard, did something real quick, and then went right back in. And he showed me, he's like, I really want to show you these songs, you know. I was like, all right, man. So he, so he had my full attention. Yeah, my full inspiration.
So
So then,
y'all been together or known each other so many years.
Oh, yeah,
different
man, since we were
variations of bands,
teenagers,
but
since we were in high
this
school.
new-
Yeah, I mean, there's a great chemistry. I see the great chemistry in here. And so the foundation was built. You know, you guys kind of have already kind of started a little buzz with the 2-song EP.
Right.
Now, as we sit here in 2018, you have released your brand new record, Blood of the Raven. For all you people who have not seen it, it's right there, Blood of the Raven. Holy smokes. Thank you, Jake, for sending me the record. You know, and sometimes, like I was telling you off camera, I get inundated with stuff. But I always, have time to listen, And when I listened to Blood of the Raven, I was really taken aback. I really dug it. There's a lot of bands who are doing kind of doomy, the sludgy stuff. But you guys are really, really cool. I mean, I loved the vibe of it. It was just like this really cool, mid-tempo, heavy vibe, and it stuck with me, man. So let's talk about the here and now. Obviously, you guys are a formed band committed to the Burn Ritual project. Let's talk about these tracks on Blood of the Raven. Now that you had built a cohesive group with all these fellas, how did things start kind of coming together for the release of this EP?
Well, once we decided, we're going to be a full band, we basically said, now we got to have more songs than just 2 songs. Right. So I basically went into the lab and started, trying to come up with stuff,
But the 2 songs off Like Suffering are not on Blood of the Raven.
No, definitely not.
Right, okay.
No.
I want to know.
I didn't want to.
I want people to know out there that these are all new songs.
Yeah.
And this guy's got a riff bank. It's,
Yeah.
it's endless.
He's a riffmeister.
Yeah, but I didn't want to bring over any of the songs off that because I kind of wanted them to be 2 entities kind of thing. But yeah, once we decided we're going to do this as a full band, everything sounded good. We had all 4 of us in a room.
Well, not only that, those 2 songs led to an offer from a record label.
Oh yeah, that's
so
true.
that kind of made the
Yeah, we hooked up with Curse Monk Records out of Ireland, and they said, well, let's put out your full length and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And
so based on 666 Mr. Doom, put a record out there, the EP, and it got I don't want to say internet success or whatever, but
YouTube.
pretty quickly it garnered a lot of views.
yeah,
And so we started getting hit up. And Curse Monk hit us up. What's his name? Roger Mortis over at Curse Monk was wanting to branch out to North America. So he reached out to us and said, I want to do something with you guys based on what we, just the EP, which was cool, flattering. We took it, and which, by the way, you all know that our style of music is way accepted in Europe.
Yeah.
Okay, Curse Monk is in Ireland, so that is a Europe distribution spot
Right.
in the middle of where we're at,
Right.
which is part of the reason why we took that deal. And Roger went to work for us right away. He's got our backs.
Yeah.
We love the guy. He's doing things that we can't do ourselves. That's the point of a record label. And, just like I said, Europe is the spot for our type of music. We do consider ourselves a local San Antonio band, and we love this city, and we love playing here live. But eventually, our goal is to get over there to Europe, where it's big. Where what we do is big. Yeah, definitely.
We pretty much established, I think people from what we've been saying, that the musically what you're delivering is like this doomy, sludge, mid-tempo stuff. Jake, lyrically though, what would you say is happening with this record?
it depends on the song, really. The Mirror is the first track that starts.
The Creature Inside of You, my favorite track. I love that track. God. That track, man, when I heard it, I was like, holy shit. Man, don't get me wrong, I love all the tracks, but that track is a standout to me. It's very special.
Yeah, it's funny about that track because when we were talking about, we hadn't even started recording, but we were talking about the album, what songs, and I said, dudes, we got to put a song on there that's kind of like a slow, chill song.
Interlude.
You know?
Interlude, yeah.
Yeah. And so it was already planned before it was even written, and then I just kind of wrote it at my house, and like one thing led to another. I started, like I always do, I played the bass, I played this and that, and I called up a think it was you, and I said, hey, dude, I think I'm just gonna like. This will be the only track on the album that I'm just playing by myself.
Basically, yeah, he
You
is.
know?
Which, by the way, we're cool with because
Well, yeah.
you know it is.
Plus,
what it
the
is.
song sounded complete. It didn't
Yeah,
sound like it needed anything
didn't
else.
Need us on it.
So it ended up being, and it's great. I like it too. You know, it's a great song.
Which actually, I keep telling Jake we need to play that song live.
Oh God, yeah.
We're gonna work out a live version. of
I
that.
don't know.
No, we're not yet.
There's a lot of keys and stuff.
Why not?
That song right there is kind of like Jake's Planet Caravan, if you will.
Yeah.
You
I was
know?
about to say, you know,
Yeah, it's our
worship.
Sabbath. Yeah,
And
it's our
and-
tribute to
and that's
Sabbath.
great,
You know.
'cause, that's basically what a lot of
And
this
you know
music is
when
based
when
around,
Jake was
the
writing
underground
this
scene.
album, you know, and we all offered whatever we needed to do to contribute or whatnot, and he's like, I got this. It's all good, and that was awesome that he took over on that, and it was just that's 110% Jake right there.
Yeah.
The musicianship of this guy right here, is that he can play every instrument, and all this stuff, and it sounded great. And we trusted him 100%. It's like,
Well, every troop needs a leader.
yeah,
Of course.
Yeah, every troop needs a leader, man.
But going back to your, go ahead.
No, you
I was
go
gonna
ahead.
say, go back to your original question. Yeah, it just depends on the song. It's kind of it's not a concept album by any means, but it definitely has kind of like a
start
vibe
to
like
finish,
that.
it feels
Like,
What is the holistic vibe, if you would say?
I just wish, if the listener would just sit down, maybe with some headphones. That's my ultimate dream, like just to hear it from front to back. A little bit of that. A little bit of that in there, yeah. But for sure, like, because even in the song "Blood of the Raven," I say, "Cast me away" is one of the lyrics, and then "Cast Away" is actually the last song. So everything kind of ties in a way, but not like a concept album.
No, it's an experience from cover to
flow.
cover, and
Very good flow.
I think the way that we wrote it and the way that it came out is we're all music nerds, man. We love music.
Yeah.
We've been loving music since we were born. I mean, I'm an Elvis guy.
Oh God.
And that was my mother. But as soon as I started figuring out music for myself, my parents would go out of town. I'd throw their Zeppelin albums on. I'd throw their Alice Cooper records on. I'd throw their Black Oak, Arkansas records on. And I started getting down with what's really real. And coming into 13, 14 years old, I'd get those records out and I'd open them up and I'd smoke me a joint and I'd fucking start listening to them and reading everything from beginning to end on all those books, all the lyrics. I want to know everything about that record.
Yeah.
And that's the way that all of us are, That's the way we feel about it. And the way that this record is written is straight up, listen to it from cover to cover. It's not a track record. It's
Right.
It's not, and we're I mean, the world that we live in nowadays, it's track music.
Yeah.
Buy a track, buy this track, buy that track for 99 cents. Burn Ritual's not a track band. We're from cover to cover record. Throw some headphones on, smoke a little bit of weed, get a little beer buzz on, whatever you're going to do on Friday or Saturday night. Listen to that record, and I guarantee you, it's going to take you to where you need to be.
Yeah, that's my one kind of, I don't want to say fear, but, when somebody listens to it, I wonder, if they hear the first song, they might get turned, I don't like that. Because I feel like the album has a little bit of, I don't want to say everything, but kind of, it's got all the songs have their own vibe to me, but
Well,
they
I mean,
all
it's-
tie
it's-
in.
It's written by heads for heads, man.
Nice.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Well said. Well said.
people in this genre, that's what we're doing. We're capturing this. If you go check out our live show, you'll see what we're doing. Yeah. Me and Jake, we've been doing this shit for a long time. And right now, I think we've captured what we've always wanted to do with this project right here.
And it seems like this is the lineup that's gonna fucking take this band to the next level. So let's talk about that. You guys have mentioned, what's happening with the live show. You guys have been playing here in San Antonio. When's the release party?
Next Friday.
October 19th.
At the Mix.
Actually, we've been lucky enough to pull off. We actually have a CD release show in Austin too,
Nice.
and that's
November
actually
2nd.
Yes.
Yeah. Lost Well, November 2nd.
Damon
It will be a hell of a party.
Yeah,
So if
great
you're in the
bands
area,
on
please
that
come
one.
out.
Oh, yeah.
great.
We'll be out there for the Mix show, and it's so funny, you know, the mix has kind of become this place where like they have the Metal Mondays now, and then the venue's been updated. Very nice, all you mix people out there. I don't know who runs that place, but
Big props to our boy Loy Smoke, who's making it happen.
He's a local promoter.
You know,
The big show that we're gonna have is on the night of Monster Magnet. They're gonna be playing at the Paper Tiger, but it's gonna be Burn Ritual and Witch Crier the same night. Which you know, Susie Bravo,
Yes.
awesome.
San Antonio Austin
Yes,
band right
yeah, right there. You know that it's gonna be an honor to play with them. But we're gonna do that night. You know,
That's our
November.
first
Yeah,
album release show.
that will be the official CD release, correct?
Definitely.
Okay, so
CD release. We're still trying to work on vinyl.
No,
which
we'll have. I'll guarantee you this: vinyl will be out early
Might have to do it ourselves,
2019.
But
We'll have
what
vinyl
is the official date there? Is that the 16th?
for
release party, the mix show?
That's the 19th.
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 October 19th.
Friday, next Friday.
But
Yeah.
the beginning of the year, vinyl will be out of this record. So be ready for it.
Remember, everyone out there, the brand new release, 7 tracks from the band Burn Ritual. It's right here. It's called Blood of the Raven. The release party will be October 19th at the Mix. Go out there, support the band, check them out. You saw them right here on Rob's. You know they kick ass. Pick up one of these nice. It's like a little digipack. I love it, man. 7 tracks, really killer. Guys, now I was privy to find out tonight that you guys had a really cool video that I didn't even know about, so I'm glad I saw it tonight. Share a little bit about the title track video.
Well, we shot it ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, another one of those.
Let me shoot this out there. Everything that we do is in house. Most of it is Jake's ideas. We all pitch in. Some of the shots in the video were ideas that I came up with. Regardless, we do everything that we do here in Burn Ritual in house. That video was recorded at our rehearsal spot, which is my shop. I own a business here in San Antonio remodeling houses. I got a shop here in San Antonio.
Put up
That's
a bunch
where we
of black tarps.
we put up a bunch of black tarps.
Yeah.
We recorded a video,
And
and
There you go.
that's it.
Saturday afternoon.
You know,
and we knocked out
hey,
the video.
it could be on Headbangers Ball,
Yeah.
but that doesn't exist anymore. So
No, but
yeah, I mean,
YouTube it up.
I picked up a few video editing.
YouTube is getting it done, though. Huh?
Yeah, video editing skills over the year. Like I have never gone to school for it or anything like that. But I was like, hell, let's just do it
Nah,
ourselves.
Jake does the best videos.
Cool, man. That's cool.
He can do it. Yeah.
I mean,
It's great that you have the people within the band who kind of have some background and are able to do some things that other band members can't do.
a lot of it has to do with, you know, I tell my dad this sometimes because he asks me on the phone. It's like, you know, growing up, or even now, you don't have a lot of money to spend on hiring a guy to do videos or hiring this guy to do that. So as growing up, years went by, I just learned how to do little things here and there, and that's why I do majority of the T-shirts and the artwork and stuff
Show
like
him the
that.
shirt.
Green print.
That shirt, that's a
Green
Jake
printing.
Lewis shirt right there.
It's mainly
From top to bottom.
It's mainly just it's not like a control freak thing. It's mainly just because, hey, you know,
Necessity.
don't have to hire somebody else to do it. I mean, I hope maybe
You know,
the next album.
Everybody knows how bands are.
Yeah.
You know, we're not making a bunch of money these days.
Well,
We do it because we love it and we have the passion.
Out of pocket, do it yourself. It's underground.
but
seen this.
it's always been that, you know, when Jake and I used to jam when we were younger in the, you know, let's say like 15 years ago or so, you know, one day we were paying so much money for studio time that Jake said, you know what, I think I could do this better myself. And I told him, I said, you know what, if you could do it better yourself, dude, I'm behind you. Let's do this shit, you know. And this dude tried to, you know, he started doing recordings from his house, you know, and all kinds of shit. We started, you know, he started producing his own shit. He started recording his own videos, you know, and we backed it up, you know, and all that shit with the scissor jack shit and all that. I mean, this is a one-man show. It could be, you know. Live, you know, we need guitar, bass, drums, and all that. But, you know, Jake is a one-man show. He can do it himself, you know.
the reason Burn Ritual could have just stayed, you know, a one-man project, but to me, I was like, I got to hear these riffs loud and like with a full band. because there's nothing that beats the live experience, even for us musicians when we're playing. I mean, there could be one person there, 100 people, but or 1,000, whatever. But I wanted to hear the songs like the way they're meant to be sound.
And as we talk about live performances, we talked about the release party, but is there any aspirations to kind of play out, and do shows? And obviously, you have connections in Corpus because that's where you're from. Yeah. Have you done any shows in Corpus, or do you want to do any shows anywhere else in Texas?
Some of our past bands, we've gone down to Corpus and, of course, Houston. And actually, this band, we've got a lot of love from Austin. Yes. There's a lot more doom and stoner bands in Austin, so it's easier to have shows.
Big scene. Big scene.
Here, there's only like maybe a handful, like maybe 4 or 5.
Yep. Well,
so
I think the main thing coming with that is we're kind of waiting on the new year. You know, holidays are coming up, and I think in the new year we've been planning regional. Houston. Houston, Dallas.
Doing a little small tour.
We're working on doing some festivals next year and touring up to those festivals and coming back.
So let's talk about that. What are there any plans for 2019?
Oh, yeah,
Aspirations for 2019.
2019, I want to release another album.
Definitely.
Album number 2. I mean,
Do it.
the songs are already there, basically. I mean, we've actually rehearsed a few of them already, and
we're working on it.
but yeah, to do a few festivals in the doom genre, in the doom community. There's all Denver, Chicago. There's a lot of different places.
Yeah,
Vegas.
And actually, Steve Kolka with Destroyer Light and Heavy Friends Booking, we're going to work on doing something coming up in this new year that's going to blow people's minds and get out there.
Yeah.
San Antonio is a great city, but we got to bust out, man. We're ready. We're ready to bust out. We're ready to get out there.
And also, not only in Colorado, we got our former bass player from King Earth, which is Freddie Allen, and he does the Son of Gray project out there in Colorado, so we're trying to hook up with him, and he's a great, he's a great videographer, and he did our Beneath the Shadows video for King Earth,
To sum it up, we want to release the album, and then maybe a couple festivals, and for sure maybe a little small stint tour, a little thing.
Yeah, guys, ride the coattails of Blood of the Raven for as long as you can. I think there's a great release. Like I told Richard tonight, like he was just like, play all this music. I'm like, let's not bust our bubble too soon, man. I'm like, shit, So ride Blood the Raven out. Save all the good music for later on in 2019. That would be my recommendation. I mean, you guys are a great band. I love what you're doing. And that's why you're here on Rob's tonight. And that's why we're having a good time. Thank you, Richard. I've really enjoyed being around you tonight, man. I love your knowledge of metal.
Music nerds. Hey, big up to Limelight, the Faust, Lloyd Smoke Jr., Damon Caraway. Yeah. Everybody that's kind of helped us along our path, man. We love all these people. Steve Kolka, Destroyer Light, Curses, man. CJ and Sarah over there at Curses, they've done a lot of things for us. Hey, man, San Antonio is a metal city, and we love being where we're from. Big ups to everybody here in San Antonio that supports Burn Ritual. Come out on the 19th. That is our CD release. Come out on the 19th at the Mix. We'll be with Witch Crier. Free show. It's the Monster Magnet after party. But hey, the party continues. We'll be there. Bring it on.
Richard, any last words?
Oh man, just check out our album. Man, we worked real hard on this shit. You come check out our live show and you'll see what's up, man. Jake brings it live. We all bring it live. It's just an awesome thing, man. If we can't share it with everybody, I mean, there's no point in doing this. You know what I'm saying?
We bring a passion into the music with this album, and we are so proud of it, and we just want to get it out to you, each and every one of y'all.
Straight up.
Yep.
Yeah, I would just say what they're saying. The live show is definitely, I mean, you can hear the record and it is what it is, but the live show is definitely, we bring it, the realness and the rawness, and I mean, that's it. That's it.
Smoke weed and listen to killer heavy metal.
Gentlemen, what a great honor, what a great interview, what a fucking great pre-gaming night we had, and it's not even over. Remember, everyone out there, remember, God, the band Burn Ritual is here in the studio tonight to talk all about their brand new CD, Blood of the Raven. It's out right now. Go look for it on social media. Go look for it on music outlets. Download it, buy it, check it out. You know it fucking rocks because we support it here at the program. You saw the band only right here on Rob's MetalWorks.